Well, how's it going, everyone? We're in a pretty exciting time. So, I've been looking up some information because, of course, we're like a couple of days away, right, from disclosure. I believe Saturday should be the day. But don't forget, there's several branches of the defense in the states that are going to be speaking out. So, there's probably going to be about 2 or 3 reports, and that's just my guess. So, UFO report details difficult to explain sightings. I can't specify enough speculation on that for some reason. I just want to get every detail. Says U.S. ex-intelligence director. Of course, we're talking about John Ratcliffe. It's always a retired director that speaks, right? U.S. military pilots and satellites. Another thing I want to talk about. Satellites have recorded a lot more UFO sightings than have been made public. Something very important that you're all going to find very interesting. And of course, I keep speculating that it's going to be a blowaway revelation. But most of you, which because you are smart, are telling me, Bruce, they might not say anything, or they're going to completely distort the truth. Yes, absolutely agree with you. But U.S. military pilots and satellites have recorded a lot more sightings of unidentified flying objects, or UFOs, that have been made public. Donald Trump's former intelligence director, Ratcliffe, said. So what happens is the Trump administration ended, right? Biden took over, Mr. Yellow Post-it notes. And when that happened, well, of course, all the people who used to work in the Trump administration, they lose their posts and they're sent off to other jobs, whatever, you know how the system works. And during the Biden administration, there's other people that will be hired. But he says, frankly, there are a lot more sightings than have been made public. By the way, I've been outside tonight. They're chemtrailing at 8 o'clock, and I can see the UFOs around the chemtrail planes. I filmed some of that already for you. Next video, everybody. I'm so excited because the activity started up again. That's why I'm here, to show the activity. And almost knowingly that it was going to start up again, it just so happens it's a couple of days before disclosure. How exciting is that? In my community, I know it because I'm hearing the feedback is obviously happy. Thanks, everybody. Some of those have been declassified. Yes, some. So there's going to be a lot of hiding. But very importantly, when we talk about sightings, we are talking about objects that have been seen by Navy or Air Force pilots or have been picked up by satellite imagery. So there's proof in itself that the satellites are definitely, there's money. The money that goes into the satellites also goes into documenting the aerial phenomena and the aerial vehicles, obviously, that apparently are alien or could be another country, because they're still skeptical about this. They're worried about it being, could it be another country that is so advanced that they would have this technology that is not understood, because everything is back engineered, right? No matter what technology is found, alien or human, intelligence or not, Americans and Germany and all the other countries, they back engineer the technology, and that's how they try to find out how it was formed, what makes it tick. Very interesting. But here's the thing. Traveling at speeds that exceed the sound barrier without a sonic boom. Like what? Like the DARPA project, like the Pentagon craft in 2011 that they said could absolutely take anything out anywhere in the world in like 8 to 18 seconds, something like that. So in reality, they all said that these projects were closed down, right? Now, this is just me talking. This isn't part of disclosure. I believe, DARPA right off the bat. I believe maybe even DARPA will be mentioned in the upcoming disclosure. It's going to be interesting. Who's going to be mentioned? I can't rate polls anymore on my YouTube because I made a poll about China government. So I asked if disclosure, they were going to disclose that China had something to do with, not with the disclosure, but that it would be in the disclosure. For some reason, I have a very, intuitive thing about China having to do a lot with these UFOs. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. But here's the thing, the UFO report must be published by early June. And of course, I told you it's going to be before June because the Pentagon said it. But in reality, prepare yourselves that, yes, there could be other things that are going to be divulged. They're going to come out from here to June. That's very, very possible. But pursuant to a clause in the COVID relief and spending package signed by Trump before he left office. We have Trump to thank for this disclosure, by the way. Now, here's the thing. They're going to make it ready for the public. So obviously they're going to hide a whole bunch of stuff. We're not going to hide it, right? I mean, they're saying it themselves. The forthcoming report is to be issued by the Defense Department and intelligence agencies when an unidentified aerial phenomena is identified, Ratcliffe said. Again, he's not there anymore. Analysts try to explain it as a potential weather disturbance or other routine spectacle. We know that the military always says that it's, whatever, flares, or the other day a radio station called in and found out that it was a test. They were testing shells, 150 millimeter rounds. So, they can also say what they want. I'm not saying it's not true what they're saying, but they really can't say what they want. But watch this. We always look for a plausible explanation, he said. Sometimes we wonder whether our adversaries have technologies. So they're talking about other countries, the worry about that. So the mention is there that are a little bit farther down the road than we thought it could be possible, or that they realized. But there are instances where we don't have good explanations, which is normal. So in short, things that we are observing that are difficult to explain, and so there's actually quite a few of those. The mention again of there being a lot of sightings not mentioned. And I think that the info has been gathered and will be put out in a way the American people can see it. Stop right there. Listen, I hate hearing that. It makes me sick, okay? The info has been gathered and will be put out in a way the American people can see it. So it's going to be doctored up. It's like, excuse me to be literal. Can I be literal, everybody? It's like taking a porn video and presenting it on television. You might see a boob. You know what I mean? Maybe a side cheek or something. This is based, and I'm serious, that's what they're going to do with it. They're going to doctor it up. But I'm telling you, we still may get a lot of information on what they're going to say. Be interesting. So, in the past, there's been a lot of UFO sightings, so they say, right? I'm looking at on Wikipedia. According to the disputed blah, 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 the scribes of the Pharaoh. So we're all the way back to the Pharaoh, Thutmose III, reported by that fiery discs were encountered floating in the skies. And get this. The Condon Committee, whatever other committee, disputed the legitimacy of them. So, way back in Egyptian times, when they were finding UFO sightings, the clergy, or the ones ruling, the governing ones, the Egyptians, the high elites, were hiding this. Now, why would elites hide UFO technology or UFO alien life, for example? Why would an elite do that unless they could profit from it, or unless it would affect what they are doing? Why would anybody hide an alien invasion, right? Well, one, the military, obviously, no matter what country you are in, the defense, the national security of the world, of each country, I think they're highly speculating. And for the longest time, they thought that it was, for example, if USA was looking for who was responsible for the UFOs, they are definitely looking into Japan, Russia, even the UK or France or any country that could have not alien technology, I'm sorry, a technology that is further down the road, as John Ratcliffe said, because it's always been a goal for each country to try and dominate the world Whether and how do I mean? Well, first of all, I'm just learning myself. I'm no genius. But look at China and look at what they're trying to do. Dominate, big tech is dominating now. For whatever the reason, the feds are leaving. Big corporations take over the economy. China taking over trade. You wonder what the heck is going on. So I can't help but wonder if the upcoming disclosure that they will mention something about some of this fighting amongst the countries. See, this is why I believe it's going to be a really big disclosure. No, you are all right. They're not going to talk much about the UFOs, for sure. Probably, without a doubt, they will not even mention the moon. But say to yourself one thing. If ever they talk about disclosure and they do not mention the moon, that means what I found on the moon is even more secretive than the upcoming disclosure. There's no two ways about it. Before they tell people that there's before they tell humans that there are people living on the moon or working on the moon, they're going to start by disclosing the UFOs, possibly. Maybe this is the beginning, folks, of something bigger that they're going to actually talk about who's on the moon and maybe even Mars. Let's not forget, Haim Eshed did say that astronauts, American astronauts, hybrids were inside of Mars. Now, like Crawlface mentioned, they're already starting to pass it off as myth or not speculation, but more of a prophetic vision or something. Even some of my own family members and some close friends are even saying, "Well, wow, so it was just a bunch of hogwash." No, guys, it's not hogwash. They've been hiding UFOs and alien species since the beginning of time. I would not even be surprised if they did not take out that part out of the Bible. For me, and this is just me talking, I believe that all religions have a little lie that were integrated in it, because the system is based on controlling our perception of whatever reality is. Whatever reality the government wants us to perceive is the perception they're going to portray. Let's see, according to a Roman army commanded by Lucullus, this is okay, we're talking way back, guys, was about to begin a battle with Mithridates VI of Pontus, when all of a sudden the sky burst asunder, fire, and a huge flame-like body was seen to fall between the two armies. In shape, it was mostly like a wine jar, big wine jar there, and in color, like molten silver. Again, that floating cloud. Guys, okay, this is pretty scary because, so it reports that the shape of the object as like a wine jar, the apparently silvery object was reported by both armies. Okay, so it's important to say that these two armies, especially way back hundreds of years ago, are fighting with each other, despise each other, come to the same story after the war, after the battle, that they saw this thing in the air. So, of course, if I keep reading, they're going to say they passed it off as whatever. Just like they're doing, like John Ratcliffe said, head of national security or security intelligence, whatever he's in charge of, says that that's what they do. They pass it off as military training exercises, etc. So it's always been, right? So I'm telling you, disclosure is going to tell us a lot by, reading between the lines. That's a bit what I'm trying to say. But again, guys, this is the first disclosure like this ever presented to humans. So say to yourself, it is going to be an exceptional reading, right? And don't forget that the information that is going to come out is going to be scattered all over the internet. They're not necessarily going to spoon feed us everything, but I'm going to be doing some searching and I'll share with you guys and gals, anything I find, I'm going outside right now because UFOs are in the sky right now. Just sharing the information as I see it. Apparently it's going to be scattered everywhere, guys. I'll try to get you as much as I can. I'm outside right now.
Party all night long. Aliens on the moon, they must be mighty. They're up there sitting down in that pontoon. They rock everybody off in their belly party. But they coming here so soon. Yeah, aliens are up there on the moon. They may be even coming right here soon. Aliens are mighty on the moon. Yes, they are up there. Doesn't matter cause disclosure's coming soon. Disclosure's coming soon.